It's a Monday morning and you are still thinking when the weekend will come. You feel more tired, you feel more disengaged, and you feel more demotivated at work. You are always looking at your watch when the day will get over and you will rush back home. Not only that, you also feel that there is not enough time with you to finish up your task, and this leaves you more demoralized and exhausted. Well, no wonder. One of the major reasons of attrition in most of the organization is job burnout, and a lot of time the HRs are not able to understand that, and of course the employees are also not very sure how to deal with that. Well friends, my name is Arun Thukral. I am a life and a leadership coach, and in this my topic today I'm going to talk about how to overcome job burnout, what is job burnout, and what are the ways that you can lead a successful and a professional life without getting burned out in doing your day-to-day task. Also, I want you to like and subscribe my channel for more reach and more content your way, and I'll give you all the tips, all the success mantras that can help you to be a more successful professional. Let's first talk about what is burnout. Let me give you an example. I was working in Delhi and I was transferred to Mumbai for a promotion. And at that point of time, I decided that I will be going alone because my family responsibilities were high and I wanted my family to be in Delhi, and only I individually would be moving out to Mumbai to take the new role. I was highly excited. I was very enthusiastic because one, it was a promotion, two, it was a new location, and third, it was altogether a new role because I was into sales and I was moved into marketing. And within 3 months, the entire excitement went to zero. My entire enthusiasm was nowhere near to me. You know why? Because one, I was all alone in a big city like Mumbai, and I had to manage everything, right from managing my day-to-day course to the expectation of the role that was very demanding. And number three, I was not very sure about the new role because I was not trained into the marketing role that I was in. And I used to work from morning 9 to evening 9, slogging more number of hours and giving everything that I could. But eventually the results was something that was very demoralizing because I was not reaching to the expected norm of the work that was expected out of me. In spite of me knowing a lot about my industry, I was not able to fit into the role. And what exactly was happening, in spite of all my efforts, I was undergoing a severe job burnout. And yes, friends, I totally believe that if you are not sure about what is job burnout, these are some of the symptoms that happens when you are mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted on a long-term project that you are working on and you are not getting the desired results as expected. It just leaves you with more frustration, more fatigue, and you are not emotionally balanced. And do you know what was the outcome? The outcome was that I was not in very good relationship with my peers, with my boss, and of course, in my new place, my neighbors. And eventually, I was coming into a situation that I think it is not my cup of tea, and I'm not coming up to the expectation, and I must quit. And that's where I realized for the first time what job burnout means. And then I bounced back. I bounced back very nicely, though it took me a lot of time. It took the guidance of a coach, mentor who helped me to think through, who gave me a new lease of life to live on that role and become a more successful marketer and a successful professional as I used to be. But for that, you have to really work hard. You have to really find out that what will work for you. And that's what all those secrets I'm going to share with you in this video. So before we go into understanding what are the steps to overcome burnout, I want to address a very important part of this discussion, that is, what is the difference between stress and burnout? Well, the characteristics of both are almost similar, but they are relatively different. The simple difference is that stress is a short term while job burnout is a long term thing. Now, let's talk about stress. Stress is something that you get in your mind when you see that the work or the things around you are not in your control. Particularly when you are doing a long-term project with some deadlines of time, you need to come up to the expectation and do the work as per the expected norms. And that can leave you with stress. Or maybe, for example, you want to give a presentation to your board members and you see that there is a very short amount of time and you have very short amount of information along with you to present to them, it definitely brings a lot of stress. But stress generally remains for a few days or a week or so, and then it will go away once that event is over. Burnout, on the other hand, is a long-term problem. It just kills you as you move forward in the task that you are doing. It gives you a feeling that the work that you are doing is meaningless while what you want to do is something different. And you see that there is no gist of the work that you enjoy and being a part of such projects which are not giving any meaning to you or sense to you. And that leaves you a complete burnout, a sense of emptiness, a sense of demoralization, and most importantly, emotional exhaustion. So for example, let's say that your boss, who is a very supportive one, has just resigned and left the work. What will happen? At that point of time, you will be loaded with a lot of work and lot of tasks which you are not used to. And that time you start feeling the burnout coming in the way that you work. So first thing that you really need to understand that, are you under stress or are you under a symptom of burnout? If you are a combination of both, definitely it is going to cause a lot of problems in the future that will impact not only your health but your performance, and of course the most important thing is your relationship with your peers, your boss and your subordinates. So it's very, very urgent and important that you need to arrest this situation. You have to overcome this point so that you are successful, so that you are able to create your professional life the way you want to be. So here I'm going to share you some very important secrets that I have personally practiced and it has really helped me. Stay tuned. How to avoid burnout? I think this is something that we really need to understand that. And a lot of time when people start getting the feelings of burnout early, they go into a short-term solutions. And these short-term solutions could be taking a short vacation or going for a movie or going out with their family members to spend time differently. Well, this does help, but it doesn't help on a long term. And you will see that your troubles are just growing bigger and bigger. So we need to look at some of the strategies to overcome the burnout by ensuring that you are having a long-lasting change and you are working very happily. So what are some of these strategies? Let's look into it. Number one, work with a purpose. The first and the foremost thing that you should have in your mind, like I did in my case, was whether you are working only for a paycheck or you are working for a long-term focus to achieve the purpose of your life or the purpose of the work that you have chosen for. And for that, you really need to look deeper and do a lot of deep thinking about what is the meaning of your work. Why do you go for a work every day? And how you are helping others by providing right solutions to their problem. How deeper that you can do your work so that you make your work more meaningful. The more you ask these questions in peace and in silence, the more clarity you will start getting about the whole purpose of your work. And once you started getting this clarity, you would be much more happier, much more satisfied, much more in peace that the work that you are doing is actually delivering the results. And you will see that when your purpose is getting achieved, you will be more happier and you will be more successful in what you do than getting burnout in just doing short-term things. Step number 2, do or perform a job analysis. Very simply find out that whether the job that you are doing is beyond what has been designed for you. And a lot of times it happens that you have a feeling that you are just running on the treadmill and going nowhere but getting exhausted. Like in my case, when I moved into the marketing role, I did a small job analysis that gave me a clarity about what is exactly my role is, what is my responsibilities, and what is expected out of me as per the key results area. And then I realized that there has been a good amount of work which was not a part of my job, but I have started taking on me over a period of time, either by way my boss has been giving to me or some other departments were coming and wanted me to be a part of their work. And slowly and steadily, I have piled up a lot of work which was not as per my KRA. And eventually I found that the more amount of time that I'm giving is creating a huge burnout. So the best strategy for you is to do a job analysis, find out what is your role, then set up a meeting with your boss and have one-on-one discussion about the role that you have and the extra load of work that has come on you and due to which your core work is really suffering. And at the same time, you should go with a plan that how and which part of the work can also be delegated to others, so that your boss is also not in a situation that at that point of time how he is going to allocate that work. But mind you, when you are approaching your boss, you need to be very subtle, polite and clear about how it is impacting your work, though you need to convey that how much you are ready to do more work, but at the same time quality work. And that helps you a lot in doing a better job and avoid the job burnout in your hand. Step number 3 is give it to others. It is also called as feeling of gratitude. Just think about how you can help others, how you can make others' life easier by providing your experience and solutions to their problem. And this is done by taking keen interest in other people and finding out what kind of challenges that they are facing. In my own experience, when I was struggling from the job burnout in my new role, I started to realize that there are few young people who had joined the organization and they were just struggling to learn the job of marketer. Now, having that experience of people management, I started helping them out by giving them smaller tasks, relevant tasks, and giving them a sense of achievement. And it really not only helped them to do their job better, but more than that, it really fulfilled my own way of thinking, fulfilled my own way of helping others and giving a new meaning to the work that I was doing. And the more I was doing this, it was giving me a lot of satisfaction, a lot of self-confidence, which I was lacking, as I was thinking earlier that because of job burnout, I was losing out interest in my own work. And this is one thing that helps you to re-energize yourself and gives you a meaning of what you really want to do in your job or in your life. So don't forget about gratitude by helping others and giving more value of you to others so that they can do better. The fourth strategy that can really work well in managing the job burnout is time management. I'm sure you will agree that as you progress and evolve in your job, your priorities keep shifting depending on your boss and other departments that keep bringing up a new task, new assignments, and you need to be a part of various projects, and due to which you will find that your time is getting bifurcated into different areas, and that goes beyond your control. So time management skills are very important and essential in managing your time well. In this case, you really need to sit with your boss, have a one-to-one discussion and tell him that you would like to take control of the time given for a given project or a task that has been given. The more you are able to decide your own timelines and become more organized, you will see that you are not only focused on the task that you are doing, but also delivering it on time, and that will save a lot of energy of you, that will save a lot of time for you to be more productive. As you become and take more control, the better outcome will start coming out in terms of the quality of work. The fifth strategy is exercise regularly. So when I was into my marketing role in Mumbai, and in my initial period, I was running from my home to office, working late night and then reaching back home and the next day. It was becoming quite monotonous. It was like a machine which is working. And at that point of time, my stress level and my job burnout was increasing rapidly. So my coach suggested me that what you need to do, Arun, is you have to start doing exercises regularly for at least 30 to 40 minutes. Not only it will energize you, it will also bring a lot of agility, a lot of focus, and a lot of productivity will be reflected in your work, because the more you exercise, the better you become in your body, and your mental strength also goes up. A lot of time I've seen that when I get into stress or I get into job burnout, I tend to avoid exercises. And on the contrary, I've seen that the more I exercise, the more I feel better, the more I feel confident, and the more I want to give back to the work that I want to do. And that's what exercises helps us in becoming more agile and more productive. So don't forget, this very important activity is to stay focused by doing some physical activities and exercise, including meditation, including yoga, whatever that suits your profile. And you will see it will definitely impact the work that you're doing in terms of quality and quantity both. Well, I'm sure all the 5 strategies that I talked to you about how to avoid the job burnout has really worked for me in my last assignment, and I am still doing it religiously every day, whatever work that I take up, whatever work that I do on a day-to-day basis. I want you to try this and share your experience back with me if you find this useful, if it really gives you a meaning that how you can become more productive. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching me, and signing off from here is Arun Thukral.